Can I teach you? I'm asking your permission now. Can I teach you? And the reason why I'm asking, can I teach you, is because in order for me to teach you, I have to say something to you that you don't already know. Are we clear? Because if I'm only saying what you already know, then I'm not teaching you anything. You're not learning and I'm not teaching. All right, y'all ready? Minister Stewart, if you will get for me on this day in particular, 1 Corinthians, excuse me, the 15th chapter, the 14th verse. Let's read one of the most powerful verses in the Bible. It is also one of the most dangerous verses in the Bible. It's a verse in the Bible that most Christians don't even know is there. It's 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, the 14th verse. What does it say, Minister Stewart?
And if Christ be not risen, then is our preaching vain, and your faith is also vain.
All right. Everybody repeat after me. If Christ be not risen. Now it's interesting, that's the subject for today, by the way. If Christ be not risen. If Christ be not risen, our preaching is vain, and your faith is also vain. If you allow me to transliterate that, what it's actually saying is this: if Jesus did not really get up out the grave, this whole thing is a lie. Y'all got that? If Jesus did not get up out the grave, this whole thing is a lie. Wow. Okay, we got a problem. We got a big problem. Let me tell you right now at the top of the story, Jesus did not get up out the grave. Okay? I know that was like hitting some people in the face with a sledgehammer. And I got news for y'all, for those of you who have a problem with what I just said. If you can prove in any way whatsoever with validity that he did get up out the grave, I put the same challenge out I've always put out. I'll pay all your living expenses from now to the day I die. If you can validate the resurrection of a so-called Jesus Christ, I will pay. I'm putting this out to the whole world. I will pay all y'all's living expenses from now to the day I die. To my friends who I grew up with, who are really disturbed with me right about now, and who listen to me in secret, I'm talking to y'all too. Okay? Can we look at some contradictions? Let me ask y'all a question. How many contradictions do you need before you understand that something is fallible or there's a fallacy to it? How many contradictions do you need? Everybody got one finger up. Good. Let's find a contradiction right quick. Okay, now let's look at the Bible. Those of you who don't have your Bible, just listen real carefully. But if you will, let's go to the book of John, Minister Stewart. 20th chapter of John. Everybody say this with me. Repeat after me. The gospel according to John, is a forgery. I hope y'all don't mind me just coming raw today, but I don't feel, I'm not feeling the best, so I ain't got time to be beating around the bush, okay? But believe me when I tell you, if you can invalidate what I'm saying, I promise you, I will pay all your living expenses. 20th chapter of John, before we read about the resurrection account, I told y'all the book of John was a forgery. Any scholar, any second-year Bible college student will tell you that the book of John was added into the Bible centuries after all these other so-called books. And it had to be added for a particular reason. What was that reason? John, the 30th verse, Minister Stewart, verse 30 and 31. What does it say?
And many other signs truly did Jesus in the presence of his disciples, which are not written in this book.
Meaning in the book of John, not in the Bible, in the book of John. Now notice the 31st verse. The 31st verse actually tells you why they compiled the gospel according to John and put it in the Bible. It actually tells you why they did it. A lot of people look right over this. It actually tells you why they actually made this book up and put it in the Bible. What does 31st verse say?
But these are written.
These, or this book was written, why?
That ye might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God.
Did y'all get that? It's right there in black and white. They're actually telling you the reason why this was written is so that you might believe. Not that you would know, but that you might believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God. And that's what has controlled our thinking. Now, remember, keep in mind what she just said, and now you'll understand why I coined this phrase. Repeat this after me. He who controls the printed page, controls the thinking of the age. Did y'all get that? In other words, the European historiography is what controls the thinking of the masses. They wrote it and told you it came from God, and you believed it, and they're controlling you like a dog on a leash. Now, let's go to the first verse of the 20th chapter. Let's talk about this so-called Resurrection Sunday. Go ahead, Minister Stewart.
Verse 1?
Yes.
The first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene early.
Cometh who?
Mary Magdalene.
And who else? There's nobody else there but Mary Magdalene, right? By the way, this is supposed to be the woman that Jesus married, by the way. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, he didn't either. You got this lie. You done elevated the lie so high that any challenge to make you think about the lie, you get angry with the person who's making you think. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So, the first day of the week cometh Mary Magdalene. Go ahead, Minister Stewart.
It was yet dark.
Now mind you, according to this verse we just read, only Mary Magdalene was there. Mary Magdalene, didn't say nobody else, right? Okay, and then it goes on to say, while it was yet dark. Isn't that what it says? Now I want you to keep these points in mind. One person came to the tomb and was still dark. Go ahead.
Unto the sepulchre, and seeing the stone taken away from the sepulchre. Then she runneth, and coming to Simon Peter, and to the other disciple whom Jesus loved.
Now, according to what she's reading so far, one woman came to the tomb while it was still dark. The sun had not come up yet. And when she saw that the stone was rolled away, she did not go inside. She saw the stone was rolled away, and she immediately took off running and went and told other brothers what happened. Right? Go ahead.
And said unto them, they have taken away the Lord out of the sepulchre.
She didn't say he's risen. She did not say he is risen. She said they stole him. Somebody stole his body. You got me? Okay, go ahead.
And we know not where they have laid him.
Okay, and they don't know where he is. Go ahead.
Peter therefore went forth, and that other disciple, and came to the sepulchre. So they ran both together.
Here come Peter and some other disciple. They're going to come running to the tomb. Go ahead.
And the other disciple did outrun Peter.
Whoever this other disciple is, he was so angry about this that he outran Peter. He got there first. Are y'all seeing this here? See, you know, really, when you really just take your time and read this like we're doing right now, you see how stupid it is. But we didn't take our time and read this. We just heard, he got up. With all power in his hand. Go ahead, read the story.
And he, stooping down and looking in, saw the linen clothes lying, yet went he not in.
So the first dude that got there looked into the tomb, and he saw that the clothes that he was wrapped in was there, but there was no body. Go ahead.
Then comes Simon Peter following him, and went into the sepulchre.
I can see Simon Peter now, man, I didn't know you could run so fast, man. Ain't nobody in there. You got the picture? Okay, go ahead.
And seeing the linen clothes lying, and the napkin that was about his head, not lying with the linen clothes,
go ahead.
Wrapped together in a place by itself.
Continue.
Then went in also that other disciple, which came first to the sepulchre, and he saw and believed.
Believed what? What did he believe? It wasn't nothing to believe. What he was told was somebody stole the body. You got me? So what is he believing? Go ahead. Oh, I know what I just heard a preacher talk. He believed what the Lord had said before. you know the Lord did say that he was going to get up on the third day. So that's what he believing, okay. Go ahead.
Verse 9, for as yet they knew not the scripture, that he must rise again from the dead.
Uh-oh, that just cancels out what I just said, now don't it?
Then the disciples went away again unto their own home.
Now that's some deep stuff. Check this out. They went home. They came, saw the body had been stolen, and they went home. Oh well, it's a wrap. They done stole him. We don't know where he is, so ain't nothing we can do about it. It's all over with. Let's go on home. Let's go get a beer, brother. Come on, man. Got this? But his woman didn't take it so easily. What does it go on to say?
But Mary stood without at the sepulchre weeping.
The brother said, let's go, man. Let's go. Hey, come on, man. Ain't no need us hanging around here. Let's go on home. Ain't nothing we can do about this. It's over. You know how the brothers are. See, brothers here, you know, hey, man, hey. Dude ain't here, so let's go. You know. But Mary stood there having a fit, crying.
And
go ahead.
She wept. She stooped down and looked into the sepulchre.
Now she decides to finally take a look in. When she first got there, the stone was gone. She took off running. Now she decides to look in, right? Okay.
And see two angels in white sitting.
I love how they always have angels dressed in white. Sitting. One at the head, go ahead.
One at the head and the other at the feet.
Yes.
Where the body of Jesus had lain.
Yes.
And they said unto her, Woman, why weepest thou?
Why are you crying?
She said unto them, Because they have taken away my Lord.
Because somebody stole his body.
And I know not where they have laid
Okay.
And when she had thus said, she turned herself back and saw Jesus standing.
Uh-oh. Go ahead.
And knew not that it was Jesus.
Now this is her man. This is her man, right? Okay. She turned around and saw this dude standing there. Okay. And she didn't know it was her husband. Go ahead.
Jesus said unto her, Woman, why weepest thou? Whom seekest thou?
Now, why are you going to ask these dumb questions? Okay, I mean, who else would I be looking for? Okay, you know, who wasn't you laying in here? Go ahead.
She, supposing him to be the gardener, said unto him,
How do you confuse your man with the gardener, the caretaker of the cemetery? Go ahead. Y'all relax there. Y'all relax. Go ahead.
She supposed him to be the gardener, said unto him, Sir, if thou have borne him hence, tell me where thou hast laid him, and I will take him away.
Yes.
Jesus said unto her, Mary. She turned herself and said unto him,
Rabboni.
Thank
yes.
you, which is to say, Master.
Now this is deep. He just asked her a question. Woman, why are you crying? Who are you looking for? And she thought he was the gardener. Now he says to her, Mary. And now she knows who it is. Maybe nobody could say Mary like you do. You might have had a Barry White kind of voice. Now check how deep this gets. Now go ahead.
Jesus said unto her, Touch me not.
Okay, now check this out. This is deep. This is important. This is important evidence in this case. Can we take this to court? Yes. She recognizes this is my man. And she gets ready to put her arms around her man. And he said, don't touch me. Can't touch me. Why can't she touch him?
For I am not yet ascended to my Father.
Don't touch me because I haven't ascended to the Father yet. In other words, like if you touch me, there's so much glory over me, there's so much power over me, there's so much divinity in me right now that if you touch me, you won't be able to handle it. Don't touch me, God, and send to the Father, but do what?
But go to my brethren and say unto them, I ascend unto my Father and your Father, and to my God and your God.
Go tell the brothers that you've seen me, and I'm getting ready to ascend to the Father in heaven. This is the concepts that we have in our mind. Y'all got those facts there? All right, now let's compare. Turn to Matthew. (28) verse 1. You remember the facts of the first presentation, right? Okay. I asked y'all, how many contradictions do you need before you know something is not right? Everybody held up one finger. All right, let's read Matthew 28 verse 1.
In the end of the Sabbath.
In the end of the Sabbath.
As it began to dawn towards the first day of the week.
As it began to dawn. Now what did the first account say? While it was still dark. Right? Okay. The sun is coming up now. Go ahead.
Came Mary Magdalene.
Mm-hmm.
And the other Mary.
Wait a minute. Now wait a minute. Whoa. I just asked you in the first account, Mary Magdalene and who else? And there was nobody else. So now, Jesus' other woman is coming along with Mary Magdalene.
And behold, there was a great earthquake.
Oh, now we got an earthquake, okay.
For the angel of the Lord descended from heaven.
Now mind you, in the first account, okay, there was nobody seen at first. She came and saw the stone and rolled away and took off running. Got the brothers, they came back and looked in the tomb and they saw two angels dressed in white inside the tomb. Now here, these two women, okay, which really are Isis and Nephthys in ancient Kemetic thought. That's where this whole thing's stolen from in the first place. Y'all get me? Here we got an earthquake and the angel of the Lord descended from heaven. Go ahead.
And came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it.
Now, this is some deep stuff, because now these two women here, and they actually see the angel of the Lord coming down, because the stone has still got the tomb sealed, and the angel comes down and he rolls back the stone and sits on top of the stone. Go ahead.
His countenance was like lightning.
His countenance, yes.
And his raiment white as snow.
Yes.
And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men.
In other words, the caretakers in the cemetery, these are men now, saw this being of light sitting on top of this stone. Y'all bear with me as I talk this stupidity for a moment, will you? Because it's so stupid, I'm getting frustrated talking about it. But I want y'all to see how confused we are and the mess that we've been believing and got us messed up here. So you can go share it. Go tell your family, you know what? This brother said some stuff to me that I never thought about before. Let me share with y'all right from the Bible what he shared with me, so y'all can stop believing this dumb stuff. This being sitting on top of the stone, the caretakers, who were brothers, men, got scared. And not only did they get scared, they got so scared that they passed out. Fainted. That's what it means they became as dead men. They fainted. Go ahead, 5th verse.
And the angel answered and said unto the woman, Fear not ye, for I know that ye seek Jesus, which was crucified.
Oh, this is deep now. This angel did not ask, who are you seeking? I know why y'all are here. Don't be afraid. Y'all looking for Jesus, who was crucified. Now this is some deep stuff. He is not here. For he is risen. As he said. Everybody ask yourself this question. Say with me. When did he get out of the tomb?
When did he get out of the tomb?
Because the stone was still there when the ladies got there. See, I done dropped the case already. According to what we just read, the angel came down and rolled the stone away. Right? So where did he go? How did he get out of the tomb? It was still sealed. Now, you know what most church folks say? I can hear it right now. I hear them saying it. Well, ain't nothing too hard for God. Ain't nothing too hard for God. He was God. He could get out without rolling the stone away. Come on, people. Y'all see how we made the think? Read quickly.
Come see the place where the Lord lay, and go quickly and tell his disciples that he is risen from the dead.
Yes.
And behold, he goeth before you into Galilee. There shall you see him. Lo, I have told you.
Now wait a minute. I thought that we just read that Jesus talked to Mary in the tomb. Now we're reading, he done left y'all, he already on his way into Galilee. So go tell the disciples that that's where he's going to be. Read.
And they departed quickly from the sepulchre with fear and great joy, and did run to bring his disciples word.
Now repeat after me. They left the tomb with fear and great joy, and told his disciples what they had seen. Remember that. Remember that. 9th verse, go ahead.
And as they went to tell his disciples, behold, Jesus met them, saying, All hail. And they came and held him by the feet and worshipped him. Then said Jesus unto them, Be not afraid. Go tell my brethren that they go into Galilee, and there shall they see me.
Okay, for the sake of time, let's move forward. Go to Mark now. And let's see how this lie comes out. Mark 16. Verse 1.
And when the Sabbath was past, Mary Magdalene and Mary, the mother of James and Salome, had bought sweet spices that they might come and anoint him.
Oh, so now they're telling us the reason why they came. Here's the problem. You see, and that wasn't an uncommon thing to go, and because it was a rush ceremony, so they're going to take spices and wrap, anoint his spices to help get rid of the bad odor, because they didn't have embalming fluid back then. Got what I'm saying? So they're going to anoint him with the spices and everything so his body's not stinking and da-da-da-da-da. But the problem is, why are you going to the tomb to anoint him when the tomb was sealed? Just like today when they lower the casket in the grave and then they put him in what they call a vault, and then they put the big cement top on the vault right there in front of you, okay, and it's there. Why are you going to go back and try to do something to the body? That doesn't make any sense. Read.
And very early in the morning, the first day of the week, they came unto the sepulchre at the rising of the sun.
Okay, now the sun is coming up. Go ahead.
And they said among themselves, Who shall roll us away the stone from the door of the tomb?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Everybody say poor planning.
Poor planning.
You coming to anoint this body, but the tomb is sealed. So on your way to the tomb, you're asking yourself the question, who gonna roll the stone away for us? Go ahead.
And when they looked, they saw that the stone was rolled away.
Yes, go ahead.
It was very great.
Yes.
And entering into the sepulchre, they saw a young man sitting on the right side, clothed in a long white garment.
Okay.
And they were affrighted.
Okay.
And he said unto them, Be not frightened. You seek Jesus of Nazareth, which was crucified.
Mm-hmm.
He is risen. He is not here.
Okay.
Behold the place where they laid him.
Okay.
But go your way. Tell his disciples and Peter that he goeth before you into Galilee.
Mm-hmm.
There shall you see him as he said unto you.
Now check out this 8th verse. As I state my case. What does it say?
And they went out quickly and fled from the sepulchre.
They went out quickly and ran from the tomb.
For they trembled and were amazed.
For they trembled and were amazed. Now here is the line that says you have to throw this thing out of court. What does it say?
Neither said they anything to any man, for they were afraid.
Did y'all miss that? Look at somebody next to you and said, according to the Bible, they did not tell anybody. Now look back at the same person and said, according to the Bible, they told the disciples. Is it a contradiction? Would this stand up in court? It won't even stand up in your own mind. Now what's really interesting here is verse 9 through 18, or 9 through 20, goes on to talk about what happened thereafter. But the problem is, verses 9 through 20 were added into the Bible after the book of John was added into the Bible. If you look at verses 9 through 20, if you guys got a red letter edition of the Bible, it's supposed to be the words of Jesus. Right? How did Jesus say all this? if it was added into the Bible. I just presented some stuff to y'all that pretty much invalidates the validity of a so-called resurrection. Brothers and sisters, on this day, we need to understand that we need to exercise common sense. The Roman Catholic Church for almost 2,000 years has taught that Jesus was crucified, died, and was bodily resurrected. Not just spiritually resurrected. Bodily resurrected means he returned to life in his original body that was supposedly put into the ground 3 days later. This is what's been taught, man. This has been long the foundational belief, not knowledge, but belief of Christian people. And there's something about believing in this thing that does not make sense, that gives them a sense of glory and happiness and empowerment. It doesn't make sense, but you believe in it, along with the virgin birth, that this woman had a baby without a man helping her. Atonement, that because he shed his blood, that all your sins are paid for. And the second and future coming of Jesus. Jesus did not get up out the grave, period. So since he didn't get up out the grave, yes, the whole thing y'all been practicing is a lie. Yes, I'm sorry to be the one to hurt your feelings like this. Your mama should have told you better, but she didn't know any better. My mama didn't know any better, but now that I know better, my job is to tear down the lie that has been given to us, that's been designed to hold us back. Are y'all grabbing what I'm saying? I know it's not going to make me popular. I don't care about that. I care about you being free, black people. Man, shoot. Get rid of this sickness. Because as long as you have this sickness in your head, now I'm talking really to those who are watching, many of you here, unless you are a visitor today and don't know any better, as long as you carry this sickness in your head, you will not do one thing to bring change in our society. And the reason why you won't do anything is because you're waiting on the Lord to do it. Y'all hear what I'm saying? You've already decided that this world ain't your home anyway. You just a stranger passing through. Your home is in glory. That's where you going. Well, it's really deep, y'all, because there was a time that I heard a woman, the first person I think I remember really hearing say that, her name was Alice Walker. And when she first said that, she was a fairly young woman. She was my great-grandmother. And she was in her 60s, I think, when I first heard her say that. Well, it's deep because Mother Alice Walker was waiting on the Lord to come back. She was excited and got happy over the fact that he's on his way back. That was her favorite line. You know he's on his way back. He's on his way back. I was a little boy at that time. I am now 58 years old, and he hasn't gotten here yet. Mother Alice Walker is dead and gone. Her children are dead and gone. You follow what I'm saying? Her grandchildren, some of them are dead and gone. Her great-grandson said, hell, I ain't going through that. I'm going to tell y'all something differently. I'm going to tell you he ain't coming back. So once you understand he ain't coming back, maybe you'll get up off your behind and realize that the only way change and improvement is going to come in your life, in your community, in your neighborhood, is if you get up and do something about it. Am I making sense here? Get up off your knees. Stop calling for somebody out there in space to come rescue you. Ain't nobody in space coming to do a damn thing for you. If you don't get up and help your children are going to jail. If you don't get up and help your children, they're going to die in the streets of this city. Stop asking God to help you. Look at somebody and say, you are God. You do the job. Rescue yourself.